You need to focus on the right things. There are hidden factors that can make weight loss feel almost impossible. I'm talking about insulin. To lose weight, you need to manage your insulin levels because insulin is your body's main fat storage hormone. When insulin is high, your body is in a fat storage mode. When insulin is low, your body is much better at burning stored fat. It's really that simple. But first, you need to understand one simple concept. Food gives us calories, and calories are a simple measure of energy. When you eat more calories than your body burns, that extra energy gets stored as fat. Now, imagine that your body has two places to store energy. First, energy at home. The food you just ate, it's easy to use because it's right there. And energy in the bank, your body fat, and that's the energy that you want to burn. Insulin decides which source of energy your body uses first. After you eat, insulin thinks, don't touch the energy in the bank. We already have energy at home. Spend that first. That's exactly what insulin does. It tells your body to use the energy from the food you just ate. And if there's more energy than you need, insulin thinks, let's put that extra energy in the bank so we have savings for later. And that's how your body stores energy as fat. When you haven't eaten for a while, your body should say, we've used up the energy at home. Now, let's go to the bank and use our savings. That's your body burning fat, which means that if we want to lose weight, we eventually need to use our bank savings. But here's where the problem starts. Sometimes insulin becomes overly cautious. Even when there's barely any energy left at home, he still refuses to use the energy in the bank. That's what happens when insulin stays elevated for too long. Your body delays switching to stored fat, so it takes longer before you start burning your body fat. Does that mean you can never use the bank? No, absolutely not. Eventually, when there's truly no energy left at home, your body has no choice. It has to use the energy in the bank. There's simply no other option. That's why people with insulin resistance can still lose weight. It just takes longer and it feels harder because their body is slower to switch from using energy at home to using its bank savings. But that doesn't have to be your story. If you follow the rules I'm about to show you, you'll make it much easier for your body to start using those bank savings and burn fat more efficiently. First rule, avoid constant snacking. That means avoiding eating small amounts of food throughout the day, especially foods that are high in sugar or refined carbohydrates. Remember the energy at home analogy. Every time you eat, especially carbohydrates, your body thinks, great, we have energy at home, let's use that first. As a result, it takes longer before your body starts using the energy stored in the bank in your body fat. That's one of the reasons constant snacking can make weight loss more difficult, especially if you have insulin resistance. But here's the problem. The advice to just stop snacking doesn't work. It's the same as telling someone to just eat less. If it were that simple, you wouldn't be watching this video looking for answers. Instead, we need to understand why you are snacking in the first place. And don't worry, I already did the work for you. Most people snack because their main meals aren't satisfying enough. Either they never feel full or they feel full for an hour and then they're hungry again. The meals that usually lead to constant snacking, low in protein and low in fiber. Think about a typical breakfast. Sugary cereal, a bakery muffin, white toast with jam, or even worse, skipping breakfast completely and surviving on caffeine and sugar. No wonder why you're hungry a couple of hours later. The solution? Make your meals actually filling. Instead of trying to fight your hunger, will meals that naturally keep you satisfied. A simple structure looks like this. Protein, eggs, chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, tofu, or beans. High fiber vegetables. Make this a large part of the meal. High fiber carbohydrates, oats, potatoes, lentils, healthy fats, olive oil, nuts, or seeds. And please, don't make your meals tiny. A lot of people eat a tiny diet meal and then spend the rest of the afternoon thinking about food. The problem isn't always your willpower. Sometimes the meal simply wasn't satisfying enough. The goal isn't to stay hungry. The goal is to eat a little less than you normally would, while still feeling satisfied. And if you are genuinely hungry, between meals, have a snack. Just make it a smart one. Greek yogurt, a handful of nuts, an apple with peanut butter, a boiled egg. These foods are much more filling because they contain protein, healthy fats, or fiber. But even with better snacks, there's another piece of the puzzle. The type of carbohydrates you eat has a huge impact on your hunger, your blood sugar, and your insulin levels, which bring us to second rule. Choose better carbohydrates. Not all carbohydrates affect your body the same way. Choose carbohydrates that digest more slowly, keep you full longer, and create a smaller rise in blood sugar. But here's something most people don't realize. Your biology affects your food choices. When you're sleep deprived, stressed, or you skip meals, your hunger hormones increase. That's why it's much more effective planning your meals ahead of time. Trying to make healthy food decisions at night when you're exhausted and starving is incredibly difficult. I don't recommend doing that. So instead, reduce the number of food decisions you have to make when you're hungry. Because when you're starving, your brain naturally craves quick, tasty, high-calorie foods. Step number 1. Choose your carbohydrates for the week. Instead of buying 10 different carb sources, pick 3 to 5 really healthy options. For example, oats, sweet potatoes, brown rice or quinoa, fruit like berries or apples. Whenever you need carbohydrates, you already know where they'll come from. Step number 2. Prepare them ahead of time. For example, every Sunday you can cook a large batch of lentils, roast several sweet potatoes, make a pot of brown rice or quinoa. Now your healthy carbohydrates are ready to go. Instead of reaching for chips because they are convenient, you can grab cooked lentils, eat a raw sweet potato, and boil a healthy, delicious meals in just a few minutes. Step number 3. Boil meals around protein first. Think protein, vegetables, and carbohydrates in the exact same order. Heat a few combinations that you can mix as you want. This way, carbohydrates become a part of a balanced meal instead of being the main event. And since we are talking about making your environment support your goals, let's borrow a powerful idea from Atomic Habits. Make unhealthy choices slightly inconvenient, and healthy choices easy, attractive, and almost effortless. This is one of the simplest behavioral changes. Instead of relying on willpower, don't keep cookies or candy in your house. Keep healthy foods visible and ready to eat. You are making unhealthy choices less automatic. Think about it. If you are hungry and there's a box of cookies sitting on the counter, who's going to spend 30 minutes cooking a healthy meal when they can just grab the cookie? Exactly. That's why you need to make the right choice the easiest choice. To help you do that, here's a simple grocery list of better carbohydrates options. Go buy this, keep them at home, and make them your default choices. Whole grains. Instead of buying white bread, sugary breakfast, choose brown rice, oats, quinoa, barley, 100% whole grain bread, beans and legumes. These are some of the best carbohydrate sources because they are high in both fiber and protein. Try foods like lentils, black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans. Instead of drinking fruit juice, eat the whole fruit. Great options that include apples, pears, berries, oranges, peaches. The fiber is low digestion. Starchy vegetables. Healthy options include sweet potatoes, especially with the skin, corn, squash. These are perfectly fine in reasonable portions, especially when paired with protein and vegetables. Carbohydrates to eat less often. This food digests quickly. Soda, candy, cookies, cake, pastries, white bread, sugary breakfast cereals, chips, fruit juice. You don't have to eliminate them forever. Just eat them less often and in smaller portions. But keep this in mind. The faster you want results, the less room this food should have in your diet. There's really no way around that. But even if you are eating the right foods, there's one mistake that can still leave you feeling tired, hungry, and reaching for snacks just a couple of hours later. And it all comes down to the order in which you eat your food. And several studies have found that eating the same meal in a different order can lead to smaller blood sugar and insulin spikes. This is called the food order effect. Imagine you're pouring water into a funnel. If the funnel is empty, the water rushes straight through. But if you place a sponge inside a funnel first, the water flows much more slowly. Your digestive system works in a very similar way. Vegetables, the fiber, are like the sponge. Protein also slow digestion and stomach emptying. And carbohydrates are the water. If you eat your vegetables and protein first, your stomach empties more slowly. That means the carbohydrates are absorbed more gradually. Your blood sugar rises more gently, and your body usually doesn't need to release as much insulin all at once. Dear rule: eat the same meal in a different order. Let's say your dinner is pasta with chicken and broccoli. Most people eat the pasta first. Instead, try this. First, eat the chicken, then the broccoli, finish with the pasta. As simple as that. Same meal, same ingredients, just a different order. That simple change can help you feel full for longer, reduce blood sugar spikes, and experience fewer cravings. And all of that make it much easier to stay in a calorie deficit, which is what ultimately causes fat loss. That's how you start seeing real sustainable results. But even if you follow all these rules, your progress can still stall if you are making one of these common mistakes. Number 1, trying to lose weight too fast. A lot of people eat far too little because they want faster results. The problem is you're constantly hungry, your energy drops, and eventually it's almost impossible to stick with. The best diet isn't the fastest one, it's the one that you can actually maintain. Number 2, not getting enough sleep. Sleep is one of the most overlooked parts of weight loss. When you don't get enough sleep, your body becomes less sensitive to insulin. You crave sugary, high-calorie foods much more often. In that state, following everything everything we talk about in this video becomes much more difficult. Number 3. Eating sugary foods by themselves. Foods like soda, candy, cookies, white bread, sugary breakfast cereals can raise your blood sugar very quickly. A little while later, you're hungry again. That's why, whenever possible, try to pair carbohydrates with protein or fiber and even healthy fats instead of eating them by themselves. Keep these 3 mistakes in mind if you are doing everything right but still aren't seeing the results you expect. Keep this in mind. You don't need more motivation. You need a system that makes fat loss easier. Reduce unnecessary snacking. Choose better carbohydrates. Prepare your food ahead of time and let your body finally start using those bank savings. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone who wants to lose weight before the new year. And if you want to learn how to lose weight without giving up fast food, click on the video that's on your screen. Thank you for watching.